Go.
Hey, it's Joe Caucci here. This video is my formal announcement for my campaign for the U.S. presidency in 2020. If you know anything about me, you know that I did an experimental presidential run in 2016. The reason I began that presidential run, is because I was extremely unsatisfied with the it started off as me being extremely unsatisfied with the lack of vision out there among every candidate, even candidates that I pretty much liked, like Bernie Sanders, Jill Stein. There was just a lack of vision. I was not seeing exactly what I wanted. I wanted something really ambitious and really forward-thinking, and so it kind of began as a writing exercise where I thought, you know what, what would be my perfect candidate? What would be the perfect presidential platform? And I began writing it, and over the course of several months, it turned into about a 25-page document, and I was really pleased with the results, and I continued to refine that document over the last year or so. And a little more about that time period. My cat is on my leg right now. I apologize, but I originally, while I really liked Bernie Sanders, I was not initially a supporter of Bernie Sanders because I preferred what Larry Lessig was bringing to the table with his presidential campaign. He had a really unique idea, which is to essentially make it a central focus of his campaign to address the thing that needs to be addressed above all, and that is corruption, the corruption of Congress, the fact that the moneyed classes have purchased our Congress. His entire campaign was going to be about bringing every issue back to the fact that we cannot truly address things in the way they need to be addressed without addressing corruption first. And so he had legislation called the Citizens Equality Act, I believe, essentially a framework for that legislation to be his #1 priority if he was elected president, where he would address money in politics, he would address gerrymandering, and he would address a couple more fundamental problems that are fundamental to our democracy and the fact that it's dysfunctional. And so I thought that was the way to go. I am a fan of identifying the root of many problems and addressing the root. And corruption is a root issue. And so that is one of my high priorities as well. I'm not going to say that it's my only priority, but it is a high priority, and I would also emphasize that it needs to be done, it needs to be prioritized before anything else, because if you watched Bernie during the campaign, he had lots of great ideas, but really it's just a wish. It really ends up being a wish list that can't happen when you have a corrupt Congress. So please check out my platform. It's at tinyurl.com/ my last name Caucci, Caucci 2020. That's tinyurl.com/Caucci 2020. Check out that platform, and in fact, the platform is divided into two areas. The landing page is essentially a summary of my platform. It's a vision of 30 bullet points, an agenda of 30 bullet points that I want to pursue. And on the second page of that first document, there is a link to a longer version of the platform where I go into a lot more detail on each of the items. What else did I want to mention? Oh yeah, I wanted to mention that. You know, after Lessig dropped out of the race, I went on to support Bernie. And after Bernie dropped out of the race, I went on to support Jill Stein. The point is, you don't have to support one person during a political campaign. Your strategy should be to have someone that you're supporting, and then when that person is no longer viable, you move on to the next person. It's all about strategy in politics, and that's why I would ask you to support me now, even if I'm not the ultimate candidate that you end up voting for in 2020. If you agree with my platform, support me now. Declare your support for me. Endorse me now to popularize my platform. And at the very least, if I end up not being able to pursue this, if it goes nowhere, maybe it will at least have gone as far as having an influence on who's left, on your list when I'm gone. So that's really one of my main purposes. I mean, do I realistically think I can win? Probably not. Not unless I somehow go viral, which, could happen, but, it may not, or maybe even probably won't. But can I somehow at least have an effect on the discourse? If I have some supporters who are making a lot of noise for me and making a lot of noise, especially on behalf of my platform. See, it's the platform that matters, not me. So if you agree with this platform, if you go to my platform and you say to yourself, God, this is probably one of the best platforms I've ever seen, which I think you will, put a lot of time in it, then endorse me right now. I know I'm an unknown, and I know it's a little strange to endorse a complete unknown, but you're making a strategic, when you do that, you're planting a flag. You're saying, this is the agenda. This is the type of agenda I support. Okay? And if you want my vote, this is the type of agenda you have to have. And so if I become even a little bit popular, that agenda might get emulated or copied by candidates with more resources than me that may go a lot further. So that's why I'm asking you to endorse me right now. Thanks a lot. Take care. Oh, and I almost forgot. I'm interested in finding a running mate at this point in time, and if you have any interest, please click on my website, tinyurl.com/Caucci2020, and you'll see a link that goes to what I'm looking for in a running mate, and if you meet those types of requirements and qualifications, go ahead and reach out to me on Facebook. Thanks a lot.